All right, so hopefully you completed the third and fourth pages of your review packet, and now we're going to go over those pages. So number 7 says 3/4 of the students in Media Club are girls. So how many girls are in the club if there are 16 students in total? So I know that 3/4 of them are girls. So I need to find 3/4 of 16. Well, so we know whenever you want to find a fraction or a percent of a number, you always just have to multiply times that fraction in that number. So I'm just going to do 3/4 times 16. Any whole number can be written over 1 if that helps you. 3 times 16 is 48 over 4. And fractions are division. I get 12. So how many girls are in the club if there are 16 students? There would be 12 girls. Why? 12 is 3/4 of 16. And that's the work why. So how many girls are there if the club has 120 students in total? Okay. So once again, I need to know what 3/4 of 120 is. So same process as before. If I want to know what 3/4 of 120 is, I just have to multiply 120 by 3/4. That would be 360. 4 times 1 is 4. Fractions are division, so we can simplify this, and 360 divided by 4 is 90. So how many girls are there if the club has 120 students in total? There would be 90 girls, because 90 is 3/4 of 120. All right, now see if the club has X total students. Write an expression for the number of girls Y in the club in terms of X. So essentially, we need to find an equation here that we could use to have solved the previous two problems. Well, so I know that to find a fraction of a number, we need to multiply. So this one's multiplying, this one's multiplying, and this one's multiplying. So I can scratch this one off right away, because we're not adding anything here. We haven't been adding before. And what have we been multiplying by? We've been multiplying by 3/4. And this one shows to find the number of girls Y, we take the total number of students and multiply them by 3/4. That's exactly what we've done in the previous two problems. So this would be the correct equation. Now, how many total students are in the club if 15 of them are girls? So there's something really different about this problem. So previously we've been solving for how many girls are in the club. Now we need to find out how many total students there are. So this is actually going kind of backwards, if you will. So let's use this equation from before. So we've previously been taking the total number of students and multiplying by 3/4. But now, remember, X is total students and Y is the girls. So here, I know that there are 15 girls. So I'm going to put 15 over here. So essentially, 3/4 of what number is 15? So whenever I need to solve for a variable, I need to do inverse operations. So a number next to a variable represents next to notation, that is multiplication. So 3/4 times what is 15? I will have to divide by 3/4 to find that answer. And any time you do division with fractions, it's going to be a keep, change, flip. First number stays the same. We can turn division into multiplication, which is its opposite, and then we'll turn the fraction into its reciprocal, which is its opposite. And 15 times 4 is 60 over 3. And fractions are division. 60 over 3 would simplify to 20 students. So if there were 15 girls in the club, that must mean that there were 20 students in total. Why? Because 15 is 3/4 of 20. And there's girls make up 3/4 of the club. So if there's 15 of them, then there must have been 20 students in total. All right, next page. Jaden makes Kool-Aid by mixing 2 tablespoons of sugar with every 3 cups of water. So how much sugar does Jaden need if she uses 9 cups of water? So sorry that's a she. I can see that goes from Jaden to Jada. So a little mix up, just ignore the pronouns. How much sugar does Jaden need if she uses 9 cups of water? Okay, so once again, this is a recipe. This is a relationship between 2 quantities. This should be right away, like popping into your mind as a ratio. So let's do sugar. 2 tablespoons of it, 3 cups of water. And how much sugar if Jaden uses 9 cups of water? Well, you can see that I'm tripling my amount of water, so I also need to triple my amount of sugar. 6 tablespoons of sugar then for 9 cups of water. How much water does Jada need if she uses 8 tablespoons of sugar? So we can use that same exact ratio as before. So 2 tablespoons per 3 cups of water. So now I'm quadrupling my sugar. I'm multiplying my sugar by 4. And if I want it to taste the exact same, then I would have to also quadruple or multiply my water by 4. That would be 12. So 12 cups of water for 8 tablespoons of sugar. And so let S represent the number of tablespoons of sugar and W represent the number of cups of water. Write an equation that shows how S and W are related. Okay. So my ratio up here was a 2-to-3 ratio, right? And so if I wanted to find out how much sugar to use for a given amount of water, I would have to multiply the amount of water I used by 2/3. So do any of them do that? C does. Okay, because remember, ratios and fractions are really similar. And so let's plug in and see if this works. So my amount of sugar will always be 2/3 of what my water is what this is saying. So let's see if that's true. So let's say I wanted to go back to letter A. So how much sugar will Jaden need if they use 9 cups of water? Okay, so how much sugar? I don't know. I'm leaving it as a variable. If I use 9 cups of water, so to multiply a whole number times a fraction, 9 times 2 is 18. And then 3 times 1 is 3. And fractions are division. So this 18 over 3 is 6. And back up here, using my ratio, that's exactly what we got. 9 cups of water, 6 cups of sugar. So here we solved it with ratios. Here we solved it with an algebraic equation. So we can just see right here that we can turn ratios into fractions to solve expressions this way as well. So the amount of sugar is always 2/3 of the amount of the water that you use.